Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you again. Today, we're going to detour off the normal routine. This channel is typically made for my Accubid Anywhere database, but ultimately, it's going to stick with the theme of prepping drawings for LiveCount in a little bit different way. So again, it is going to stick with the theme of working with the program, just kind of before it all happens. We're going to stitch some drawings together today and do some unique things to prep them for a better LiveCount takeoff. But quickly, let me do an advertisement for myself here. The main purpose of this channel is this Accubid Anywhere database. So if you are in the market for a better Accubid Anywhere database, or you're new to Accubid Anywhere, coming over from Classic, or perhaps you haven't moved off of Classic yet, but you want to get into Anywhere, but in an easier fashion, this is definitely the solution for you. So it's a very complete, robust database for Accubid Anywhere, and it can be purchased. So up above, the buy this database at the Anywhere database at outlook.com. Feel free to reach out there. But for the purpose of today, we're not going to discuss that too much other than that little advertisement there. And we're going to move on with this. So what our goal today is, if you have a drawing like this, where half of the drawing is on this side, and I wouldn't even say it's half, it's more than half, and then just little pieces on this other side, this kind of gets complex to take off. It might not seem that way, but it does get quite difficult to manage because a lot of these circuits actually go to panels that are on that other side. Now, I don't like to use that continue measurement on a different drawing in the LiveCount cloud. I find that it's a little buggy. It doesn't quite work. Sometimes if you have to overlay drawings, that becomes problematic, and sometimes we'll disconnect measurements and a lot of weird things happen. So I don't do it. So I'm going to show you a different way to go about something like this. But we're going to complicate it a little further because the other variable we have here is we have this other drawing where it's blown up versions of various rooms, like electrical rooms and mezzanine levels and whatever. And we're going to induce these into that drawing as well. So we're going to take 3 drawings and make them into one workable drawing. So here's where we start. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to do a new PDF. Now the thing you have to do here is I'm going to stitch together 2 drawings that, as you can see, are typical blueprints. So this one in particular is 36 by 24. And typically this program, which I won't mention because they don't really sponsor us or anything, so we'll just leave them out of it. But a lot of you recognize what it is. You know, it tells you at the bottom what the drawing size is if you've got that setting shown. So the important thing is you have to know what size the drawing is. So for this purpose, I'm just going to say it's 36 by 36. And since that's an even amount, it really won't matter if it's a landscape or portrait in that case, but you would have to pay attention to that if the dimensions weren't equal like this. I'm going to hit OK here. So this is our blank canvas, if you will. And I can't stress enough, once you start this, if you find that things aren't fitting, well, that's fine. Just get rid of this, make the sizes a little different, and then continue on. So you do have to maybe massage it at this point sometimes. But you want to make sure that canvas is going to fit everything correctly. Now, it doesn't matter which one you start with. I could start with this top half. I'm going to use this snapshot tool over here. And this is another debate. The canvas size you pick on that blank sheet is going to matter depending on what you actually want to capture. So if I actually wanted to get these notes, which would probably be a good idea, but I'm not going to do it for this demonstration, then you just have to keep all this space in mind and maybe make that canvas a little bigger. So instead of 36, maybe you want 42 or 45 if you're going to capture more of a space. So that's the only thing you got to calculate correctly. But for today, I'm just going to grab this part. I'm going to grab this whole thing here. So I, again, use the snapshot tool, traced it. I'm going to come over to my canvas. I'm going to paste. And there I have my first portion, if you will. So I'm just going to put that right there. Then I'm going to go to this other drawing where my lower half is. Grab this again because I don't want... Yeah, I want to be right on that match line. I don't want too much of that black bar up there. It might get in the way. So I'm going to do that. Go back to my blank canvas. Paste that. And then I'm going to zoom right in here close. And you can see these drawings here, the match lines are horrific. They don't even actually match because this door is actually that door there. So I'm just going to butt those up. And I can zoom right in here and get this pretty much perfect. I can use my up arrow and down arrow keys if I want to massage that a little bit. But I tell you what, that's pretty good. You'd never know any different there. And that all fits pretty good. So now I got them both on one drawing. And you can see the 36 by 36 for this case fits. But much like the notes I mentioned, if you wanted to get the notes of this top drawing up there, you would want to make that a larger dimension for that vertical at least. You could keep the horizontal one the same. That fit just fine. But you would want to stretch that top up a little bit. So just keep that in mind. So now I'm going to come over here. Now this one we're going to do a little different technique here for sure. And this one's interesting. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to Document. Color Processing I'm going to pick. I'm going to say Colorize. And I'm going to make this one red. Because these are going to go on top of areas or nestled into carved out areas with that little enlarged detail symbol. So I want to make sure that this stuff doesn't blend in with what's already there too much because then I'm going to lose it. So I'm going to hit OK here. Now that turned all that red. Now I'm just going to systematically go through here. Grab the snapshot tool again. I'm going to grab, which you can make the decision here whether to grab a lot of these notes or just keep it tight with the drawing itself. Because ultimately, all I'm really trying to do here is capture panel locations and stuff like that. So maybe I would just come in tight on this one. Pick all that pertinent information there. So I want that mechanical, that UH15 over there too, because I'm probably going to take that off on the overall. I'm going to go to my overall document, and that should be this electrical room here. So I'm going to paste that snippet. Now, our scale is different. This is 1/8. The other was 1/4. So no problem here. I'm going to grab this corner. The important thing is I'm going to hold down the control key so it stays scaled and I don't skew this. And I'm just going to pull this, and you can see as long as I have the control down, it's staying a perfect square. It's not letting me warp it. So that's important. So then I can just get that close. If you were to not hit the control and you just grab that corner, then you're going to really distort it. So that's important not to do. And then I can get that pretty darn close. That's looking, yeah, I'm liking that. Now you can see why I did the red, because I want that to stand out and I don't want to lose track of what I'm pasting together necessarily. I was okay with the two ends because that's forming an entire building, but I don't want these to blend in black too much. I want these to stand out because, again, I'm going to target these panels and it sticks out a little better. Then I just go back to another one, Here's this room here. Grab the snapshot tool. Grab this room. Like so. Go back over here. That's up here. Paste that. And this is the same thing. The scale is different, but we know how to handle that. Hold control, grab the corner. Do something like that. Go a little bigger on that. Not bad. Oh, I think I skewed that a little bit. A little Control Z action, no problem. So Control Z is like an undo because that's highlighted. Now when you're done with this, you're going to lock it down. You're going to hit the, if you go up to document, you can flatten it, and then that will lock all this down and it won't skew things. You do have to be careful. You got to figure all this stuff is technically floating on this page. So you can grab things and move it. So you got to be a little careful on what you're grabbing and moving around, and it can be very accidental at times for sure. This room I don't care about. There's really not much going on there. This is a sign shop mezzanine here, so I'm going to grab this one because it's got a couple mechanical circuits going to panels, which I can't really spot like this, so I want to bring that into the mix. So grab that. And of course, finding where this stuff goes is half the battle too, which I kind of already vetted this out. That's above this area here. And this you can kind of tell because there's the column there, and then you can see the stairs here, which are the end of those. And typically you're just going to pick something that you can line up to, like that column. And that looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. That's pretty darn close. I might be able to pull this just a little bit, but oh, see, I skewed that. Control Z. Thank goodness for Control Z. Okay, I'm leaving that alone. We're not going to complain about that. I like it. It gets the job done. Let's see, what else do we got over here? We did water, we did all those. Oh, we got this mechanical room. That's important. So snapshot tool. I'm going to grab this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Okay, so that should be over here. And we're going to grab this again, get it to the right size. That's pretty close, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that the way that is, too. That's pretty good. I like that. So you can see our panels line up pretty close. Bump those down. That's even better. So we'll ship that. Let's see what else we're missing here. We'll do this IT room for the heck of it. We'll snapshot tool. Grab the room. So that's IT 120, which that's here. Control key. Get it to the right size. It's pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, so I think that did it for all the rooms I want. I determined I didn't want that. And I think that's it. So you have a couple things to do. If you wanted to protect this, you could hit flatten. And then that will lock all these down. So see, now I can't move each individual thing. it's all locked down. And then at least that's protected. Now this drawing is what I would then load into LiveCount. And then I can take it all off on one drawing. And then all these circuits up here that go, like here, PP7A would have been a good example. It would have been off this page. And it goes clear down to where that is down here. So now I can take that off in one continuous run. All the mechanical loads I can take off all on this drawing, and I don't have to go hunting and searching for where everything is. So especially larger projects with even more examples of this, you can see where this would save you a lot of time. So if you think in advance, and even if you only plotted these electrical rooms, even if there's no stitching involved with the two sections of the building, even if you're doing this to the rooms so you know where all this stuff is, it's a huge time saver. And then again, it also lets you control all your takeoff on this one particular drawing and not have to go searching all over the place. And then all your conduit runs can be run together and look great. So that's it for this session. Hope that's useful. A couple techniques here, stitching and the colorizing and basically copying and pasting, but great technique, and I find this very useful. So again, thanks for tuning in, and if you're interested in the database we talked about earlier, feel free to reach out. We'd be glad to help you out and even do a demonstration for you if you so choose. So have a great day, and thanks for tuning in again. Appreciate it.